Here we are back. Bad Beards and Banter. Episode 35. Please tell me it's 35.
I don't know. This is guest step anyway, so.
It's guest step, so.
Guest steps, it could be anything.
It could be anything.
Guest step.
Yeah, we'll make it anything. Pretty sure it's 35. Conveniently.
Okay,
But-
35.
Yeah.
Let's
Guest step.
introduce the guest.
Introduce the guest. That's it. Good Peter
So,
Hickman.
we have indeed. Thank you for coming on.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thanks a lot. That's, to our little pod.
Yeah, to our tiny little pod with 3 listeners, as Matt would say. So how's life? You alright? All good?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you very much.
Good.
Yeah. Been a bit of a strange year for me. We can get into that, I'm sure,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a minute
of
or
course,
two. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty good. Not too
Good.
bad.
So I feel we should say that he's technically, the fastest man on 2 wheels, maybe?
You
I
alright?
don't know about the
would you
fastest man on 2 wheels. Yeah,
Definitely.
Well,
Randy Allen, anyway.
fastest lunatic on two wheels, I think
Could be,
maybe.
Yeah, I have the outright lap record at the Isle of Man TT. So I'm currently, at the moment, the fastest person to ever ride around there. But there's also a lot of people that are very close to me. So yeah, I'm one of. Well, I am currently the fastest, but whether that stays the same or not, who knows?
Do you think it will?
It stayed like that since 2018 so far.
I'll see them pretty well.
Yeah, I
Hold
broke the original lap record in 2018, which actually had been broken by another rider earlier in the week. I did it on the final lap of the final race, and I've managed to hold that now until 2023. One of my rivals actually went faster again in practice, and then I went even faster again in the race again. So yeah, so I've pretty much held that lap record for quite a while now.
That's crazy.
That's mad. I've been watching footage like all afternoon, and it bends my brain
When you
trying
see-
to suss how they're staying on the road. Like it's
Well, to give you some facts and
It's
figures
unreal.
that people actually kind of try and understand what we're talking about. Isle of Man TT course is 37 3/4 miles around. Normal country lanes, B roads, not even A roads, they are literally B roads. They close the course off and we race around it on motorcycles. I do that 37 3/4 miles. The lap record is in 16 minutes and 36 seconds, I believe it is.
Crazy.
So an average speed is 136 mile an hour, 136.3, something like that. Yeah.
most people haven't been to 136 miles an
No,
hour in the car.
like
Like,
a
not even on the
normal
motorway.
person just
Yeah.
would never have. You get to 100 and you stop panicking.
Yeah.
Even on the motorway.
Yeah.
Not many people would have.
And that's our average. So maximum speed's just over the 200 mile an hour mark. Again, on that B road, it's just a normal B road. But yeah, it kind of blows me when people actually go and see it or watch it properly. Because the problem with YouTube and stuff at the minute and social media, there's so much false stuff out there.
Yeah.
And I see so many videos. It says Isle of Man TT, and it's not even the Isle of Man TT. It's another road race, so a similar sort of thing.
Mhm.
But like in Ireland, they do, and they have done in the past in particular. They've done lots and lots of road racing, where they just
Yeah.
close a normal road off and race around it. There's particular courses for it. But there's always on social media loads of videos of people crashing and like an actual proper race. TT is a time trial. That's not what TT actually stands for. TT stands for Tourist Trophy. But most of the social media stuff isn't even TT anyway. It
Yeah.
looks very spectacular because it is really
It is,
spectacular.
yeah.
Even the Irish road racing is super spectacular. It's just not TT.
I couldn't bend my head around it. I really couldn't.
Just madness.
And the accidents as well, because I mean, it's.
No,
It's
we're
not-
not supposed we can get onto that in a little while about the accidents. But for me, it's how did you get to that? How
Yeah, let's
Like,
go
yeah.
origin story.
We'll
Where
go
did
kind of
it
back,
sort of
Jumped in
begin?
straight in the deep end.
Yeah.
Like,
so how did you come about deciding to race?
Yeah, so my father used to race.
Okay.
So my dad, David Hickman, he raced in the 70s. So in the heyday really of our sport, motorcycle racing was huge in the 70s. He raced at Grand Prix level, so he was pretty damn good, highest in the world. He actually had quite a short career, so he was British champion, did some Grand Prix stuff, raced at the Isle of Man TT, won a Manx Grand Prix, which is the same course but technically the amateur race version of it. He did both. He won a Manx, he raced at TT, but back then actually most of the riders did both anyway. So even though the amateur race was the Manx, everyone was there,
Yeah.
and the TT was kind of the main professional style of it, if you like. And that's more like what it is today, that TT is all professional. The Manx race, which happens at the end of August, is the amateur race. So anyone, literally you guys, if you want to go club racing and you fancy to go around the Isle of Man TT,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to see it
club
crash.
racing, you'd have to get to a certain level, and then you can enter the Manx.
Yeah.
You can't just come straight to TT. You have to prove yourself at the Manx, and then you can come to TT if you're good enough. That's basically how it works.
Yeah.
So he raced in the 70s, had a really bad accident at the end of the 70s, finished his career, ended up in hospital for 18 months. So nearly 2 years in one stint, which is a good stretch in the hospital.
That's a stretch, yeah.
Pretty much broke everything from his collarbones to his knees, all of it, absolutely everything. So it was fairly smashed to bits. And we became a development engineer and mechanic and ran teams from that point onwards. I was born in the late 80s, not quite as old as him. Never got to see him race, but I've been around the championship, British Championship, Grand Prix Championship, pretty much my entire life. Always wanted to race. He didn't want me to have a bike.
Makes sense.
It makes sense after that hospital stint as well.
Football, cricket, golf, darts, anything with low risk, high wages, that's what he pushed me towards. And my answer to that was I bought a motorcycle at 12 years of age. I actually was doing British Championship judo at the time, and one of the guys there had a bike for sale, little Kawasaki AR50 back in the day, one of them bad boys, and it was in a wheelbarrow full of bits, not been running for a few years, and I bought it for 50 quid, and that was it.
50 quid.
Saved me pocket money up for a year. I used to get £1 a week. Nice. Saved it for a whole year till I had 50 quid, didn't spend a penny, and went and bought that. And I don't know why. I thought, as a 12-year-old, I thought it was a really good idea to hide it around the back of the house. And thinking he wouldn't find it.
Yeah, we all do that. It'll be fine. He'll never notice that.
It'll be fine. It's around the back of the shed. No one will ever find it. So obviously he found it.
In the wheelbarrow he wanted to use.
He found it, gave me a good bollocking, and then decided, well, if I was going to do it anyway, then he would rather teach me the right way rather than the wrong way. And I went from there to British Championship in, well, I actually raced a Superbike 5 years later, which is not long at all. Normally, like somebody starting out, actually normally quite young, 4 or 5 years of age.
Normally you start
racing.
young.
You start really young. I wasn't 12. I was 12 when I first rode a bike. I didn't go racing until I was 14, so I was a lot later on.
Yeah.
And by 17, I rode my first British Superbike, and I was actually 18, turning 19 on my first race weekend. But yeah, within 5
So was it 18 to start racing?
No,
properly?
in Superbike.
Superbikes.
Yeah, in British Superbikes. But I'd actually been racing at British Championship level for the 2 years previous. So 17 and 18, I was in British Championship already. Even after only starting at 12, I had to learn what a clutch was and what gears were and all the rest of it. So I had quite a fast progression, but that's all because of his experience.
Yeah.
And I've always had a really good relationship with my dad. A lot of father-son relationships, particularly in sport and particularly in our sport, are very kind of banging heads all the time because the dad wants the son or the kid or maybe even a girl to do certain things, and they always fight back. Whereas if my dad said you need to do this, not that, I did this.
Yeah.
Because I knew he'd been there, I knew he'd done it, and he was like, if you want to go, this is what you're going to do. So I always pretty much did what he said. Apart from buying a bike, obviously. After that little misdemeanor, I pretty much did what he told me to do, and he taught me the right way, and I went from zero to British Superbikes, which is the premier class in Britain, in kind of 5 years. So really short period of time to try and learn and understand. And then it's kind of evolved from that point onwards.
Yeah. So when you've done your first lap, what did that feel like?
Or TT?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my first TT was 2014. So I'd been racing at British Championship for 10 years by that point. So I've been racing at a really high level, big bikes, 1000cc bikes for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'd learned what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
So for me, riding the bike wasn't the problem. It was all about the course. So I wasn't trying to learn and understand how a bike rode. And actually the first bike that I took to the Ironman TT was a super stock class bike.
Okay.
Kind of clues in the name, it's more stock. So they're a lot easier to ride than a superbike.
Yeah.
And I was used to riding superbikes. So for me, I almost took 2 steps back to jump on a slower, easier bike to ride. So I literally didn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
What I had to think about was the course. And we're talking, like I said, 37.75 miles, so 60 kilometres for 1 lap. The Superbike and senior race is 6 laps, so 226 miles is 1 race. We do it in an hour and 40 minutes, including 2 pit stops.
That is crazy.
Because I suppose there's no way to learn that course, is there? Until the road gets shut.
No way. Yeah, how I did it the most is I can drive it. So between January and the end of April, so TT is always the end of May, beginning of June. Between the start of that year in 2014, 1st of January, and the end of April. Because at that point, at the end of April, they're starting to close a lot of sections of the track off to put barriers up and some hay bales and whatever they can do to try and make it as safe as possible. The organisers do what they can do. So between January and the end of April, that's your time to try and learn. And I just flew over, hired a little 1 litre Fiesta and ragged it around the Isle of Man. Just going around, just doing
It's
laps.
that guy again.
Yeah, exactly. I did at least 5 laps a day. It doesn't sound like a lot, but in a car it takes an hour to do 1 lap. So I was doing 5 hours on day 1, 5 hours on day 2, and I did 7 trips in that January to the end of April. So 70 odd laps, 70 odd hours of just driving around and around.
That's a massive difference in a car and a bike. 16 minutes on a bike,
yeah,
an hour in a car.
An hour in a car, yeah.
And yeah, because you wouldn't be thinking the same way in a car you would on a bike.
No, and obviously you've got traffic.
Yeah.
So you can't use all the roads, you can't so you understand some sections better than others. You can't feel all the bumps.
I was going to say, I don't suppose you could
And
feel a
also,
gradient, camber, nothing like that,
Most
can
of the
you?
time, you're not going that fast.
Yeah.
Although actually the Isle of Man, apart from in its villages, is open speed limit. So when you see a national speed limit sign on the Isle of Man, that means whatever you want to do. So you can do 150 mile an hour if you want to. That's absolutely
If you can
fine.
drive
That's
100.
If you can drive 150, you can do 150. That's the law. So only through the villages where you're doing 30 or 40 miles an hour. But yeah, you only get to learn so much, and it changes completely when you get on a bike.
I can imagine it.
So on top of the laps I was doing, I was also watching onboards. I was playing PlayStation games.
I was going to say, because like Nürburgring, obviously you could
And-
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, you
I know
can
it's
now.
not the same.
You can actually do it even better now than what you could do then, even in
Yeah.
the 10 years that it's been, or just over 10 years. Like simulators and all the rest of it come on way more than what you could back then. But I played just the old PlayStation 2 game, and it was actually pretty accurate. It was pretty good. So I had some sort of knowledge and understanding. I found a really good lap from one of my mates, actually Gary Johnson at the time. He did 28 mile an hour lap on a Thursday practice from the year before. Really clean lap, doesn't make a mistake, hear everything, see everything, doesn't catch any back markers. So that was the lap I kind of used as a reference lap.
Yeah.
And I was kind of looking at certain corners and going, well, he's 4th gear through there. Bear in mind, 4th gear on TT gear is like 140 mile an hour. So it's like...
Staying fourth.
Yeah, it's fast. So I'm looking at the corner going, I'm not sure I can do 140 mile an hour. So I was like, I'm going to come back to 3rd, because a gear will slow you down even more than brakes to a degree. So I'm kind of like, there was certain sections I was like, I'm going to be back another gear and just kind of slow myself down, basically to try and walk before I could run.
Yeah.
And I put a lot of effort into it. And my first year, I had a quite amazing time, to be quite honest. I finished, I had a best result of 8th, which is actually pretty fucking good for a newcomer. It was like not far away at all.
Yeah.
I finished 14th in my first race. The first race I did was a Superbike race, but I did it on the stocker, so on the slower bike, if you like.
Yeah.
I finished 14th the first one. I finished 8th in the second one, and I finished pretty sure 11th in the senior, which is the blue ribbon race. That's the last race of the 2 weeks, because it's a 2-week festival. It's a 2-week event. I finished 11th, and I did 129.1 mile an hour average in my first year, which was 2 mile an hour faster than anyone had ever been before as a newcomer. So that record stood for 8 years actually. It stood until...
And that 2 mile an hour is actually quite
That's
quick.
That's the average as well.
It's about 7 seconds. So over a lap, 7 seconds ish roughly. It changes the faster you go. Is about 1 mile an hour.
That's good.
I think actually around the 29, it's about 10. At that sort of mile an hour, it's about 10 seconds for 1 mile an hour. So to do a 30 would be another 10 seconds faster.
Yeah.
And then as you go faster and faster, it actually gets less and less in time. But yeah, around 7 to 10 seconds. That's what you always kind of.
That's proper mad, because actually, when you think about it, the times are close. So that's
Yeah,
it's not like you're
yeah.
just. It's not like there's one guy that's just real quick. You're all really on that sort of limit.
In 2018, when I did the first ever 135 mile an hour average lap, which is the first proper big lap record that I got, I won the race by 2 seconds. We're talking a 226 mile race. Various riders, but there was 2 of us that were right in front and battling, me and Dean Harrison, and I won by the slim margin of 2 seconds after an hour and 40 minutes worth of racing. 2 seconds was the difference.
That is crazy.
How much do you actually even remember of the race? Because I can only assume that you just don't think the whole time. It's almost
to a degree. There's kind of some things are natural and kind of instinct.
you just going with the flow,
but then also, there's 260 corners for 1 lap. Ish.
There's probably a little bit of thinking in there.
I can't remember the corners home.
There's a lot of information you've got to take into consideration, and a lot of planning ahead of yourself. You've always got to be kind of 2 or 3 corners ahead of yourself. And when you're going so fast, like them sort of speeds, like You can't make a mistake.
No.
Like if you're a couple of inches offline going in, you are a couple of foot offline coming out. You haven't got a couple of foot. You've got a wall or a hedge or someone's house or a tree or because it is just a normal road. So
scary.
There is no margin for error really.
So scary.
Just a quick one, right?
Matt's bumping in.
Yeah, Matt, and it's like first, he loves it.
No, this is what I'm saying, right? With how fast he's going and everything else. We go and see Peter TT.
Yeah.
And we'll tell him where we're stood, and you can see him. He actually clocks us, even though he's doing 200 mile an hour past us. And he'll sit there, do a little wheelie, give you a nod or a wave or something else, and it's fucking mad because you sit and think, how fast you going? How can you see it?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
But
But
100%.
he can pick us out. It's weird.
How?
It's like
Like,
slow
I can't.
motion's win, where to us it's like fucking.
That is a 6'8", that's why.
Pretty obvious.
There's that soul fucker.
There's that lovable cunt.
So the what like Matt's talking about there, like it's hard to try and put it in layman's terms if you like, but the best way of trying to describe it, like the speed we're doing, we don't feel like we're doing it. What I mean by that is, if you go and drive on the motorway, when you first do 70 mile an hour, it feels actually quite fast. If you've been sat doing 30 or 40, you suddenly go on the motorway, you do 70 mile an hour and you're like, fuck, I'm going on like pretty quick. Within 5 or 10 minutes, you start creeping up to 75, 80, 85, and you don't even realise you're doing it. And the reason that is because when you're doing 34 mile an hour, your brain's taking in all the information really close to you. You start doing 70, your brain has to pick up real fast and go, I need to look further ahead. So then it starts to take in that information from further ahead, and that's why you feel like you slow down when you're not.
Yeah.
Exactly the same principle happens to us, but we're doing 200, and for about 90 or 95% of the lap, we're over 160 mile an hour. So if we slow down to do 120, we feel like we stood still. Just the same way if you've been on the motorway for half an hour and then slow down to do 40 mile an hour, you feel like you're stood still because your brain's still ahead of yourself.
Okay,
so your brain stays ahead, and that's why everything's slowed down, because before you've got to that information, your brain's already processed it. That's the same kind of idea.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I'll say it makes sense.
Even me, like 70 is fast enough. On a bike, I'd love to be able to ride, like, but for me, it's just I couldn't, because I know how I drive. Sometimes I couldn't put myself on a bike the way I drive, because I'd end up dead.
I'd last 5 minutes.
Yeah, like
I'd just done.
Yeah, we got a nice big cage around you in a car.
Yeah, that's the thing you have.
On a bike, you've got nothing.
I've heard you can drive just like you ride as well, apparently.
I can drive okay.
Yeah, Matt did tell me you can drive just like you ride.
You'll generally find that bike riders can drive a car fast, but a lot of fast car drivers can't necessarily drive.
Yeah,
I could imagine that's not the same.
Yeah, it's a different style of thing, and I know quite a few different people from either Formula One or Le Mans style car racing, and they're all they all love bike racing.
Yeah,
I've got friends that are mechanics and part teams, and they've all got TT on while they're at a Grand Prix somewhere. You know,
but to be fair, it's one of the few things that's left that is. I know they do a few safety things, but compared to a lot of the sports, it's still pretty untouched, and it's kind of like
one of the last hurrahs
down to you.
Kind of like, if we want to do it, we're doing it. Yeah, we always kind of we liken it to somewhere like Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's it's quite an obvious danger that's staring you in the face, and if you get it wrong, then you don't
wrong.
know.
That's the thing. It's going wrong.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there are hundreds of people that don't come back from Everest in a year, and always our argument as TT, because obviously we do have quite a lot of people kind of saying, oh, it needs to be banned. I'm like, well, why do you need to ban it? Well, because I don't agree with it.
Must have tons of Karens going, oh, it's way too far.
Someone's
dying all the time.
Are you saying the same thing about Mount Everest then? Well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, because there's hundreds of people that don't come back from that every year.
Yeah.
Why are you not claiming? Why are you not campaigning for that to be banned? Oh well, and then all of a sudden they haven't really got a leg to stand on.
No, yeah.
I guess the biggest thing from a TT point of view, it's very commercial.
Yeah.
Which Mount Everest isn't so much, although it is to a degree. There's a lot of sponsorships go into it, and a lot of climbers that are doing it for certain reasons. Obviously, this is part of my job, but it's also what I want to do.
Yeah.
There's nobody holding a gun to my head saying, you've got to go and race TT, get on with it.
Yeah.
I want to be there, and part of the challenge is the danger. That is part of the challenge. Just like Mount Everest. It's part of the, why do people want to climb to the top of Mount Everest? So they get a good view?
Yeah.
I mean, that maybe is a byproduct of what they're doing, but they want to do it because it's hard work.
Yeah,
Not everyone can do it.
That's mad.
That is part of the challenge.
seeing as we've touched on that, how when you go out knowing that this could be the last time, like what goes through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that I ever struggle with personally,
Yeah,
and everyone's different. This is another
Yeah,
thing.
of course,
Even
yeah.
all the riders, a lot of them are very different. I think most of us have the mentality of it's never going to happen to me, and I think everyone has
I think
that.
you've got to have that, haven't you?
You know,
Surely,
you talk to a soldier or an ex-soldier. You know,
Yeah.
when they go to war, are they thinking, "Oh,
That's
fucking
gonna
hell, I
be
might not make it home"? No, they're thinking, "I'm good. I'm all good. I'm going to be
Yeah,
all right."
no,
You know, that's
yeah,
just
that'd be fine.
that's the mentality you've got to have. I've never really had that thought of, fucking hell, this could be my last ride, or I don't know. I've never had that. I'm just kind of like, oh, see you in 20 minutes.
See you
Yeah, I
in
guess-
20 minutes.
I'm guessing if you
Yeah.
do have that sort of, oh, this could be my last ride, it will throw you off before you even get on the course.
Yeah, if you start thinking like that or feeling like that, you're done.
Yeah,
Like, that's it. That's you're out. You're no longer on the ball. You're no longer
Yeah.
in the game, in my opinion.
Yes, it sounds too scary for me.
Oh yeah, no, I'm out.
It's a
I'd be
different
done so
mentality,
quickly.
Yes.
And a lot of short circuit races. What I mean by short circuit, I also race in the British Superbike Championship. I race at places like Brands Hatch, Stonington Park, Silverstone, them sort of places. A lot of them riders won't do TT because of the danger. You know,
It's a very unique thing,
Very
I think,
different,
yeah.
and there's only a certain amount of people that can actually do what I'm doing and what other people are doing. There's not. It's not for everyone.
No, you got to have a big set of balls.
Yeah, maybe a big set of balls, but like I'm also confident in myself. I'm confident in the machine I'm riding. I'm confident in the mechanics that work on that. Like a lot of people kind of forget that actually the mechanic working on that bike, it's not easy.
Pressure's on him, really.
The
Yeah,
pressure is
pressure.
really. Like, I think a lot of the time it's more on them than it is on me.
Yeah.
Yes, me as a rider, but it's also me in control.
Yeah.
The last
Yeah.
person to touch that bike is that mechanic, and they're setting it off down the road, and we go from the start finish within 3 seconds. We're doing 180 mile an hour down the first section. Like it is like goes from 0 to 108 mile an hour immediately.
Yeah.
And that mechanic has
That's
just finished working on that bike. Like, fuck me, they must be.
Yeah, they must be
shitting
shitting
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Especially if, touch wood, nothing goes wrong, but because things do go wrong, but when
Yeah, of
something
course.
goes wrong, they must think, fuck, is that something I've done? Or
Yeah, 100%.
Takes
Yeah,
enough.
100%.
Yeah.
And you
Takes
never,
enough.
and a lot of the time, not that there's misinformation, but you also don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So like, I had an accident this year,
Okay.
a proper accident.
Yeah.
Wasn't my fault. Unfortunately, it was a bike malfunction,
Yeah.
if you like. And of course, like the team don't know. All they get is there's one person gets a phone call. Basically, the red flag comes out. I was probably, where was I? I was about 20 miles into the course, a good halfway through. It was only in practice, so it wasn't even a race. I had the accident. I don't actually remember anything about it. I can tell you about it. I actually don't know. I can show you even on my phone because I've got some footage which no one's actually seen apart from TT and me. But like the red flag has come out. No one knows who it is because it's not on live coverage. It's not on like they don't come up going, oh, number 10 has fallen off at such and there's none of that.
None of that.
So red flags come out, and you can imagine teams, families, girlfriends, wives, everyone who's there is like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Like who, what, why, where, when. Then there's one person that, when you sign on, you have to dedicate one person to be your point of contact. So my point of contact is my best mate, who's also the team manager of our team and my crew chief. So he gets a phone call, and straight away, as soon as he got the call, he was like, I knew it was you. He was like, yeah. So he answers the call, they were like, just so you know, Pete's crashed. And he's like, okay, is he alright? And they're like, I can't tell you that. And that's it, phone goes down. And so he's like, oh fuck.
Stress.
You know, and then like he can see the rest of the team, they've got no idea. He can see my missus, she's got no idea, and he's like, I can't say anything yet.
Yeah.
Because he needs to wait and make sure the information's correct, and then I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, I'm not entirely
That's
sure.
a long time.
He then got another phone call and went, right, he's conscious, he's alright.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, and they were like, he's heading straight to the hospital, so if you want to go there, you can find out what's going on. And he's like, right, okay. And that's all the information he gets.
That's
you know, and
the
I've
longest
seen,
half an hour of his life.
it's horrendous. You know, like, obviously I was involved and I don't remember. I was knocked out for a long time. They gave me a mountain of drugs. In fact, they gave me fentanyl.
Lovely.
Yeah, which is obviously like super strong.
Yeah.
I was awake on the track, so where I ended up on the track, I was awake. They gave me like it's come to like a lolly, it's like a sponge on the end of a lolly stick,
Okay.
and they get you to suck on it. That's where like for pain relief.
Yeah.
I didn't know obviously at the time, but they gave me it. Guy turned around to do something else, came back, and he was like, "Where's your lollipop gone?" I'd swallowed it.
Just eat it.
I just eaten the whole thing. So I was, and that's probably why I can't remember a lot, because I was absolutely off my tits until a lot later that night, because I just had lots of fentanyl inside me. But yeah, like, obviously Darren then came to the hospital with Fifi, my girlfriend, and they got to find out what was going on and if I'm actually all right or not, and what, you know, conscious and stable is what basically means you're not going to die. It doesn't mean you're all right.
Yeah. So in a bad way, but you're okay.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
alive.
Like, well, he's alive.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. You know. So fortunately for myself, I mean, I woke up in hospital. The first memory I've got is I actually remember waking up in hospital going, "I fucking guess I crashed then." And like, yes, you did. So I'm like, okay, and I'm like, so I moved my hands, I moved my arms, I moved my feet, and I was like, oh, I'm alright.
Yeah.
And that was like my first kind of thing. I'm like, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm not too bad. I've got no idea what's wrong with me, but I can move everything. So I'm obviously not that bad.
Did you walk away?
Relatively unscathed,
yeah.
to a degree, yes. I was actually out of hospital within 2 days, so I crashed on the Friday night, May the 30th, and I walked out of hospital, came out of hospital on Sunday morning, so not even that long. Multiple fractures on my left hand side of my body, so I broke my collarbone, I broke my scapula in a couple of places, I've done 6 or 7 ribs, but multiple breaks on each rib, and snapped them off the vertebrae. I've done 6 or 7 vertebrae, punctured left lung, 1 rib on my right hand side on the number 1 right at the top on the back. But one of my biggest problems, or my two biggest problems that are even hurting me right now, and we're only 4.5 months, 5 months nearly.
And you've been back on a bike.
Yeah, I'm racing again already. We'll get back to that in a minute. We're only nearly 5 months down the line from when I did all this, and like you wouldn't know, like me right now.
No idea.
You just say no idea.
Wouldn't know. Like I remember Matt saying that because I think we were chatting. And he said, "Oh, your dad had an accident." I said, "Oh, how is he?" He said, "No one knows." Like,
yeah.
we kind of don't know.
You'd be like, "Oh, you're all right."
Yeah. Like now,
not actually.
No, you're like, he's never had an accident.
Yeah. So, well, my biggest problems at the minute are I did a lot of ligament damage in my left knee. So LCL pretty much snapped it. Didn't quite, but nearly did. But that's pretty good now. I've done a PCL grade 2 injury, which is not good, and a meniscus tear, also not good. Still gives me a lot of grief at the minute. And then on my right side, so interesting enough, I broke everything left pretty much, apart from the 1 rib on my right. I've done nerve damage, so the branchial plexus nerve runs up your spine, runs across your shoulders, deals with all upper body movement, and the axillary nerve that runs across the top here. I've damaged that quite a lot. I had to have surgery on it to try and clean the nerve, because the nerve is not giving the muscle the signal that my brain's sending.
Right.
So my deltoid muscles on the right shoulder don't fire yet, even now.
Yeah.
I have to go. I had a test about 2 weeks ago to see if the muscle's actually firing, which is not really yet, which is what my feeling was.
Yeah.
I've got to go back in another kind of 3 or 4 weeks just to see exactly what's going on. And to see if I'm actually improving, because at the minute they're saying I'm not, and then if I'm not, they need to decide on what they're going to do. More surgery, leave it, who knows. But all this upper body movement here, which would be deltoid, I'm using bicep and tricep, which is absolutely fine. I can do it, and it doesn't hurt. Like, I have no pain, but I wear out really fast. So I can ride a bike, and I can ride a bike okay-ish, like not where not how I want to ride a bike, but I'm not too bad. But after 5 or 6 laps, even short circuit racing, I struggle. I struggle to hold on. I wear out really fast. I've got no stamina in my bicep and tricep compared to what my delt would be doing. So I struggle after a few laps. And like, we have 20 lap races. So after 6 laps, we're only kind of a third of the way through, and I'm already struggling. It's hard work, but at least I can ride a bike. And my theory was, as long as I can't hurt myself anymore, even if I did fall off, which actually I got taken out last weekend. So.
I saw the photo.
Yeah, and that is my first crash since. So at least I know I'm not made of glass. I'm all good. But a few bruises and that's it.
That weren't your fault either, was it?
It wasn't my fault. Yeah, I'm having a bad year for that, to be honest.
Everyone else's but your own.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. But yeah, I'm doing all right. Like, you wouldn't know. I've got this big scar on the front here where they went in. It was about, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches long. The scar goes all the way up and through. So, but chicks dig scars.
As I say, chicks dig
scars.
It's fine.
It'll be alright.
And people that ride bikes, so
yeah,
you're winning.
It's fine.
So that's been your worst crash.
Yeah,
worst off.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually broke my neck and back before. I've punctured my lung before. Not at TT, at a place called Alton Park in Chester.
Oh yeah.
But I was riding a bike 3 weeks after, and I actually rode the TT 4 weeks after. So we kind of got a bit of a different mentality. A bit like a lot of people saying, "Oh, you know, you can't. How are you up and about, and moving around, and how are you riding a bike?" Like most people would be in bed still. I'm like, well, because I don't want to be in bed. So if you're really headstrong and want to do something, you'll do it. Yeah, it doesn't matter if your arm's broken or your leg's broken. Like you'll just do it.
That's crazy.
Your brain is so much stronger than people won't give it credit for.
Yeah.
Like you can actually pretty much crack on and do anything if you really want to. And definitely motorcycle races in particular. But I know also myself, I'm quite headstrong, and if I want to do something, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I've been up and about. I'm riding a bike now for nearly 2 months. So only 3 months after all of them injuries, I was riding a bike already.
How did you find it when you jumped on?
Painful.
Yeah. Have you got a road bike that you could just...
I have got a road bike. I don't really ride on the road because I ride way too fast.
I just didn't know whether you jump on a road bike, just go for a little potter around, just to see how you felt, sort of thing.
So my problem is I can't potter.
All
I've ever done is ride a bike flat out or stop.
Yeah.
Like there's no in between. So I actually really struggle to ride slowly.
It's probably really unsafe for you to ride on the road as well, because every other idiot on the roads, you can't, on a track I suppose, you can think for them because you know pretty much what they're going to do.
And everyone's going the same way.
Yeah.
No one's coming the other way. No one's going to pull out in front of you.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no pothole around the corner.
Yeah.
No.
So I did track days initially at a track that's 10 minutes from where I live, so Cadwell Park.
Yeah.
Ideal. Because I didn't know. Like once my surgeon said, right, I'm happy for you to ride a bike and technically fall off a bike and not hurt yourself anymore. It was like
he's probably thinking push bike.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. A little electric bike. No?
Yeah. So once he kind of said, look, you're all right to crack on and get going, then I was like, right, I'm riding a bike straight away. So I went to Cadwell. I actually took the equivalent bike of the bike I fell off on.
Okay.
So my teammate's bike, David Todd, I took his Superstop bike. So it was a Superstop bike that actually fell off on at the TT. I took his bike to Cadwell and went and rode around, and it was hard work.
I can imagine.
But the more I ride, the better I get, and I think some of that is also that I'm forcing my body to do what I want it to do. I'm not asking it nicely.
Yeah.
I'm going, I want to do this.
Back to my muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly. And like I couldn't even. There's something as daft as getting tucked down in a straight line, which obviously I do all the time. I couldn't tuck down because my shoulder wouldn't let me pull. I'd be like that, and I'd almost be up. And when I'm opening the gas in the bike, like the bikes I ride are super fast. Like they do 100 mile an hour in first gear. They've got 6-speed gearboxes. They'll do 200 mile an hour. They get to 100 mile an hour in about 3 seconds ish. They do 0 to 60 in 2.4. Like they are super fast. So when I open the gas, it just wants to go, and it's obviously trying to rip me off the back of the bike, and I'm trying to hold myself forwards.
Yeah.
And that was definitely something initially. That was what hurt me, because I was like, fucking hell, I nearly can't hang on. Like it's pulling my arm so much. I'm now already at a stage. So that was middle to the end of August. So I did June, July. It was 2.5 months after my accident. I was starting to ride.
That's crazy.
But I could ride, but I couldn't. I definitely couldn't race.
Yeah.
By a long way. So I was riding and not racing. I raced for the very first time in the middle of September. Okay. So only 3 and a bit months after. But again, I was in the race. I wasn't racing.
Yeah.
I was riding at a pretty decent speed, but not where I should be. And if there was ever anyone around me, I was like, "It's all yours, mate. After you." Yeah. Like, I'm not bothered. You can beat me. I really don't care. I just want to keep doing laps because I want to force my body to do what I want it to do. And the more I've done it, the better and better I'm getting. I'm starting to, like, my last round for the British Superbike Championship was last weekend, so that's it done now for this year.
Yeah.
I was a lot closer to the front than probably even I expected to be, and I was close to my fastest ever lap time around Brands Hatch. So I was like, and I'm not right yet.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
Yeah, I'm a long way. This arm in particular is a long way from 100%,
yeah.
And I can't ride the bike how I want to. But I'm already riding my British Superbike, so it's a proper thing. I mean, the bike costs about 120 grand to build it. It's super fast.
Yeah.
A lot harder to ride than the Superstop bike that I started on. And I'm able to actually control it properly and ride it pretty decent enough, at least for 6 laps anyway. So
yeah.
6 laps.
Yeah.
Then you need a little nap.
Yeah, exactly. The next 14 laps is hard work.
Yeah.
So on the subject of bikes, for most people obviously that don't know, what's the biggest differences between your 1000RR that you bike the road and what you're riding?
A lot, yeah. So I ride a BMW M1000RR. I'm actually a ambassador and contracted rider for BMW.
Okay.
So from Germany. Okay. So I'm one of only a couple of riders that get to do that. Me and my teammate are two. The BMW, what difference is it from a road bike? A lot. Almost the only things that stay standard are things like the crankshaft, the conrods, the pistons, the valves inside the engine casings, throttle bodies, and injectors. After that, everything has either been modified or changed. So
you've got a very different front end on your bike, haven't you?
Yeah. And the chassis starts life as a standard chassis. In BSB, the rule is you're allowed to add material, but you can't take material away. So the idea of that is you can't go drilling holes in the side of your chassis to make it weaker somewhere. But what you can do is weld bracing into it and add brackets to try and make it stronger somewhere else if you want to.
Okay.
Which ours does have that. So mine has some bracing on it, some bracing across the frame as well as underneath the frame to try and strengthen it in certain areas. After that, we run different forks. We run different triple clamps. The triple clamps are what hold the forks. They're all adjustable, so we can move the whole thing forwards, backwards. We can tip it to add more angle or less angle. We've got different brakes, we've got different wheels, different brake discs, different brake calipers, different master cylinder, different throttle.
So do you get a good variation when, I suppose, in the pits between everyone's bikes? Because you kind of got a bit of a free reign.
Fairly. Like the big thing in BSB, in British Superbikes, it's the only championship in the world where, as a standard road bike, the bike comes with traction control, anti-wheelie control, anti-slide control, launch control, you name it, ABS. It's got all the rider aids you could ever wish for. In BSB, Superbike, not Superstock, but Superbike, we have to use something called Motec ECU, which is a controlled ECU. All the rider aids are taken off. Right. So standard bike comes with about, 210 horsepower. Our bike's around 250 at the rear wheel, and we take all of them electronic rider aids away.
I suppose you'd have to, wouldn't you?
You have to.
You wouldn't be able to
They would be constant.
Yeah, to a point. So like World Superbike have all them rider aids, and you can ride them. Because obviously you can set them up.
Set it how you want.
Whereas in BSB you're not allowed to do that. So that makes, in our case in particular for the BMW, it makes it quite difficult because the bike's been designed around electronics. So it's quite a hard bike to ride in BSB spec. And what else has been changed on the bike? Fairings, fuel tank, the electronic system as we've just spoken about, exhausts, radiators, oil coolers.
Anything goes, basically. Pretty much.
It's a different bike. So the standard road bike's about £31,000 as you can come buy a BMW M1000RR out of the showroom, and our bikes are about 120 grand each. Yeah. That's mad. So hence why we buy head in our hands when you see it cartwheeling down the road.
Cartwheeling this.
So last weekend?
Yeah, I got another rider crashed right in front of me, and I had absolutely nowhere to go, and
that must be heartbreaking as well.
Yeah, it was more annoying than it was heartbreaking. Like, I was finding myself, so I was alright, but I was just a bit like, fuck's sake.
Thanks, mate.
It's like the last thing I needed. But that is what it is. It's racing.
That's life.
Yeah, of course it is. You can't do anything about it, so don't worry about it.
You can't even swerve. You might fall off. So,
it's one of those, isn't it?
Mental.
Yeah, I can't.
What a life.
Different.
Yeah, I can imagine.
At what point did you sort of realise or decide, this could be like a career?
I guess I always wanted it to be my career.
Was there a plan B?
No.
That's cool, isn't it?
Do it 100% or don't do it at all. That's
fair enough.
A bit of my philosophy. I mean, slightly different mentality to that. Not now as such as I've got older, but I have started like a side business, and the idea of that is that when I retire, because unfortunately at some point I will have to retire.
What is a typical, say, shelf life for retirement?
For a racer, normally in your 40s at some point. So it's quite a long career, really.
Compared to a lot of...
To be fair, it goes on how fast you are. If you're still fast, you can, and still winning or still at the front, you can carry on. If you're not, that's when you generally lose your ride and people don't want you there because they want someone younger that's faster.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not really age related, it's speed related. So as long as you can stay fast, and I'm 38 right now, so I've got hopefully a good 10 years to go yet. And like if I look at someone like John McGuinness, who's The winningest rider, if that's even a word, winningest, around the Isle of Man TT, 23 TT wins under his belt. You know, he's 53 years of age and he's going into another TT for 2026.
That's mad. Are you going in for 2026?
Yes, yeah, I'll be there in 2026. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, technically, thinking of that, I've got 15 years left.
Yeah.
If I want to keep going and if I stay fast. You know, John's still well inside the top 10 and usually even inside the top 6 as he was this year, 52 and 53-year-old guy.
That must be getting hard going, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm just thinking because physically this must
it must
hard
work.
Actually hard work.
Hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think just going into work, just your normal, I say normal person, but like me, just decorating to go to work, I come home, I'm knackered. You're out there flat out.
200 miles later, like...
and you must be holding on to that bike.
Yeah, you got to muscle it around, yeah.
How?
I don't know.
Fair play to you.
Are you what you like with, like, say, your fitness and stuff? Do you have like a sort of strict routine?
No, not particularly, and I've been quite lucky in the sense that naturally, generally, I've been fairly fit. Even when I was a kid, I was never fat or anything like that. I've always, because I'm quite tall, not Matt tall, but I'm tall.
You're not taller than I thought, actually.
Yeah, I'm 6'2", so it was a bike race, I'm like really
tall. Say you expect bike race.
I was expecting jockey size.
Yeah. Which, like, the car ride who's just won the championship in BSB, he's what, 5'4", maybe? 5'5", maybe? Like, generally, the smaller you are, but because the difference is, the smaller you are, the less you weigh.
As I say, it's
and
less
of course,
weight.
power to weight makes a difference. And not only have you got to accelerate it, you've also got to stop it, you've got to put it through corners and put it through tyres. Now, there'll be areas where I have an advantage because I've got leverage and strength, because I'm just bigger.
Yeah.
So there'll be certain areas where I'm better than he is, but overall, I think as a short circuit in particular, being small, the smaller you are to a degree, the better that is. It makes them work harder because they've got to train a lot harder and build muscle to actually hang on to the bikes. Whereas I need to try and always drop weight. Like, my big thing is always, and I like food. I love food.
diet down a bit.
Yeah, not so much drinking. I'm not really a beer guy or anything like that. But food, I can eat for, I can eat for England. I think so. I have to limit myself, and I cycle. I do go to the gym. I hate the gym. I just don't like the whole kind of going in, staring at yourself in the mirror while you work out and get all sweaty. But I will do it, and I do it, and I'm doing it particularly now.
I suppose now you have to really sort of...
Yeah, I mean, the best thing I do at the minute is I'm doing a Pilates session.
Yeah.
At least once a week, but the best thing about that is there's like 20 birds in there all in light.
Yeah.
Sense to the bottom. That makes sense.
There's like me and another bloke, and I'm like, I know why you're
here. Same reason I am. My arm's fine.
It's all about recovery, mate.
Yeah. Recovery. Doctor's orders, mate. Doctor's orders.
But no, joking aside, I need to like stretch off properly. So I do like a big hit session before it for a good hour, and then I like wind down and stretch off, doing the kind of Pilates, and which is not my thing. I've never done that throughout my entire career. But it's actually quite tough. It's quite demanding if you do it properly, and it helps me kind of calm down after that an hour of hit session, which is what I try and do. Try and get my heart rate up and get myself actually building some muscle again. So, because the other thing I've done, I've done nothing really since the end of May for them 2.5 months until I started riding. All I did was eat. I come for 8.
Did you put on some weight?
Yeah, I did. I put on like 2 stone.
Jesus.
Yeah, so like 14 odd kilos, maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, which I'm still carrying a bit now. I've lost in the last month. I've lost about 10 kilos, 9 kilos. So stone
pretty well.
Stone and a bit. Yeah. I've done it in about 4 and a bit weeks. Once I started like riding properly and started to actually be able to use my body again properly, then I'm trying to drop that weight off as much as I can do, but I'm still probably about 10 kilos more than where I would like to be.
Okay. Ish.
So again, another stone and a bit really to go, but I'm already a lot better than what I was a month or so ago.
Blimey.
Still got messages coming in.
We're too last minute. That's the
I know, it's loads
classic us. We should have been doing this all week. We're like, a few hours before we go and do it.
That's it. A few hours will be fine. But the thing is, I was in the shower thinking this morning. I was just like, I need to put a post out about to say that
Try and get some questions in.
because I wasn't because anything can happen. Like you might not have come down today.
We weren't sure. We weren't
100% sure. So I was in the shower and I was like, oh, better get some questions. And then I thought, we're going out for breakfast. So I'll talk. And then Matt phoned me. He's like, oi, Mong. I'm like, oi. I was thinking about this anyway. I said, but I didn't know what I couldn't use or couldn't. And he was just like, these photos. So
I'm pretty open anyway. Yeah, like. I don't really have anything off limits particularly. Because of what have I got to hide? I haven't really got anything to hide. Like, I've done a few podcasts, a few interviews and stuff, and I always say the same to everyone. I'm like, ask whatever you want. If I really don't want to answer it, I'll say, sorry, I don't want to answer.
Yeah,
what's the worst that can happen? Like,
and like our podcast.
Do you get the same level of pressure? I'd imagine you get in, I don't know, like MotoGP when it comes to things like sponsors and stuff. Are you a little bit more?
Yeah, to a degree, and I put a lot onto myself as well. So I do, particularly around the TT stuff. I promote I feel like, at least, and hopefully anyone that's listening to this that knows who I am. I promote myself well. I promote my sponsors well. I put the effort in, and I give back as much as I can do to help. Because without them guys and girls, I wouldn't be anywhere either.
Yeah,
you know, it's a two-way street. I do a lot for TT and BSB as well. Like, I've always, not as a spokesperson, but if they go, oh, we've got a radio interview, like I was on Radio 5 Live, I think 2 years ago or whatever it was, and they were like, TT literally called out of the blue, like, look, we've got a radio interview, would you mind coming on as a rider? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm in the middle of my TT. You know, I've got other shit I need to be doing.
Just waddling in.
But at the same time, I also want the sport to be promoted in the correct way, and you know, there wasn't people necessarily there to try and make it negative, but journalists love that.
That's the thing. These days, they love it.
Yeah, that sensationalist side of media, which I fucking
desperate
hate.
for that gotcha moment, isn't they?
Yeah, and then not only that, just anything to do with danger and injuries or even worse, death. Like, they all love it. Media loves it.
No.
Like, they will not comment or report on TT about all the good things.
No.
But as soon as someone hurts themselves, like, oh my fucking God, have you seen this?
It's crazy, isn't it?
You know, it's like, and that's how it is. And so I always try and do what I can do to try and spin it in a positive light. Obviously, we know the dangers there, like we've spoken about, but it's part of it.
It's part of it.
You know, and anyone that's
it's
actually
what makes it
been,
what it is.
Yeah, and anyone that's actually been to TT loves it for what it is and
Yeah.
understand it once they're there and kind of go, fuck, I get it now. Whereas from the outside, you don't really get it unless you're involved. You've got no understanding. Everyone just thinks that we take our brain out, put a helmet on, and off you go. And I'm like, no, because if you do that, you will not be here.
Yeah.
You've actually got to be very switched on and very calculated, otherwise you won't last.
One of my friends, Reese, he messaged me this morning and said, oh, you've upgraded your friend circle. I said, don't be like that. I think he rode out, it must have been about 3 years ago, he rode out to the T and he was like, he goes, it's mental. Right? It's like, he had the best time ever. That's what. Look at him, he's drinking. That's what I was going to talk to you about as well, because you said you do other sponsors. You've got your own brands.
I've got loads of different brands and stuff. But
I thought it was rum, but
so I do rum.
You do rum as well.
My lovely assistant.
Lovely. Beautiful little bitch.
Yeah. So as I've got a couple of side businesses ish. My main one is I run a performance centre. So PHR Performance. If you've got a road bike, you can bring it to us. We can do normal servicing, general maintenance, or we can turn it into a full factory World Superbike if you want. We do everything under one roof, which is quite unique in the UK. Most places, if you want your suspension doing, you go over that person. If you want your paintwork, you have to send it 4 hours that way to a different person. If you want your engine doing, you take, like, it's all kind of specialist people in all sorts of different areas. We are specialists all in one place.
Perfect.
So it can roll in as a road bike with the lights on it, and it can roll out as Top Rack's World Superbike, same spec, if that's what you want. Stick it however you want, paint it however you want.
Yeah.
We're all under one roof. So that's like my main business. Obviously, off the side of being a sports person, I've got merchandise. And what's probably unique-ish about me is I actually do it all myself. So I get it designed, I get it made, I import it into the UK, and every single round I go to, from the British Superbike Championship, Northwest 200, Ireland TT, I take my own staff, my own van, with all the equipment there to actually sell and have a shop.
Perfect.
So I do everything myself, and off the back of that is things like this, which is...
that looks cool.
Yeah, I have
my labelling looks cool.
I have my own clothing, and then off the back of that, I go, look, yeah, we've got like a... Thanks, lovely assistant.
Lovely assistant again. That's cool.
Yeah, so again, we'll spin onto the kind of trooper thing, but I've got my own brands all over the place, but I also do my own gin and my own rum.
Nice.
Which is something very unique and very different, and not what I was ever expecting to get into.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up too much, but this is it looks blue, but it's actually a pink gin. So when you put your mixer with it, it turns pink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So AU Vodka, I think, stole our idea and did it afterwards. But
cheers, assistant.
Yeah, AU Vodka.
You can't say it hasn't.
You can get a blue vodka that
Okay.
turns pink when you put the mixer in.
Yeah.
We did it a few years ago with gin.
So you stick that with lemonade, it turns pink.
Yeah, it turns pink.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
That's mad.
And I do a spiced rum because my favourite drink is a spiced rum.
Yeah.
So we've done a spiced rum, and I have some.
But how did this even come about? Because it seems so. Did you just bump into someone that goes?
Yeah,
I've got an
almost.
idea.
Almost.
I've got a brewery.
Yeah. So a couple of guys came to see me. Dom and Marta, really cool people. They actually have helped sell my merchandise, even ran my shop for a couple of years. And one of Dom's passions is doing a bit of a distillery.
Nice.
And he runs everything himself. It's all handmade, hand batched, and it's all him. So he has full control over everything. He's got like 3 or 4 distills, does everything himself, and he's like, we do our own gins. We'd like to do a Hicky branded gin. And I was a bit like, I don't know, but bear in mind we're talking 3-4 years ago. Like gin was, particularly then, was massive.
Just after COVID, wasn't it? And COVID.
Yeah.
Just after
COVID,
gin.
it went like, gin in particular went massive. He was like, look, I can do you any gins you want, I can do any flavours you want, we'll make it to you. So it's whatever you want, and it's your gin. And we came off the back of that and did that, and then I asked him, what about a spice rum? Could you reckon he can do a spice rum? And he was like, well, I've never done one before, but I'll have a go. Honestly, the one he's done, it's
a bollocks.
Nice.
The bollocks.
No, I've heard he crashes because of someone with an ice cream. So I've heard.
It's all about the ice cream. But yeah, the spice rum that he came up with is it's epic.
Nice.
It's really good. Yeah, and like, obviously I'm biased because I love it.
Yeah, of course.
But,
You've got to be.
But anyone that we can get to try it, seem to love it.
The thing is with his rum, it's very hard to get in UK. But when you go to the TT, there's one bar we always go to. Like when he finishes racing, we'll go out and we fucking drink it dry.
We drink it.
Last time we went out with Pete, we drank it dry. We all started singing "My Sex Is on Fire" and karaoke. It was a very messy night. It's brilliant. The rum is brilliant.
We'll have to give it a try. Somehow we'll
Next
get
time
some.
We'll get you some
We'll
stuff.
We'll get some.
See what you think.
100%. Perfect.
And then obviously, so you've got this Trooper here.
Talk us through that. There you go.
Yeah, so Trooper brand is actually a beer brand.
Okay.
And if you can see it on there, it's actually owned by Iron Maiden.
That is crazy.
as in the actual band Iron Maiden.
The actual Iron Maiden.
And they have sponsored me now for 10 years.
Wow.
2015 was the first time they sponsored me. And off the back of them sponsoring the bike initially, they were putting beer into a lot of the pubs on the Isle of Man, on the course even. It was the right moment, right time, right timing. And they've been involved ever since so far. So I actually ride an Iron Maiden Trooper liveried bike at the TT in the Northwest.
That's legit.
Which is just called like bikes and beer, like you can't and rock music. Like it literally couldn't have been any better fit.
That's crazy. That's amazing.
Off the back of that, I actually make my own Trooper merchandise, obviously with Iron Maiden's consent. And it's one of the best selling merchandises in bike motorsport by a long way. So if you go to an Iron Maiden concert, you will see Trooper t-shirts and hoodies and jackets, and it's got my Hicky logo on the back of it somewhere or somewhere on it, and it's been made by me. I get it designed, I get it made, like I said, I ship it in, the whole lot.
That's crazy. And the good quality as well. Really good quality.
Yeah, so right from the start, what I wanted to do was have good quality. I didn't mind if it was a bit more expensive.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to go overboard, don't get me wrong, but also I didn't want cheap shit. Because I don't like cheap shit.
Some of the stuff nowadays is like, I'm not going to mention a hoodie because I like the logo of the hoodie and what it stands for because it's about mental health. But when it turned up, it was a bit it felt cheap.
Yeah.
Like the logo perfect, hoodie cheap, and I'm like, just put that little bit extra. I don't mind paying extra.
Exactly, and most people don't.
And
Once
they
they
don't.
actually feel the quality, like obviously there's different people selling lots of different merchandise at all these bike events, and every time we always come out and people are always giving us comments of your merchandise is the best quality.
Yeah, the quality is great.
And you're only looking at just the cap, like we've got lots of other stuff, like and the quality is proper.
I was going to say, like, every time I go, I end up buying some shit. But when you got fucking 4 kids, they just steal it.
Yeah, of course.
Every time I buy a hoodie, man, fucking it gets stolen. The kid then wants an autograph. Oh, fuck's sake.
Just a kid, I want one too. I still want my photo.
The thing is, the quality is brilliant, but the kids love it, and it's brilliant.
That's like
different world.
I'll get onto that because there's a question from a podcast. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, called the Dead Ass Podcast. They're over in Australia, and we kind of started this off of the back of a podcast over there. And so they spoke about you a few weeks back. They were talking about your fastest lap, and I messaged and said, fun enough, like Matt, we're meeting up with him. I was like, is there anything you want to say? And he's like, I'd love this. But what I was going to is their quality of clothing is good quality.
Nice,
They pay decent money for good quality, whereas over in England and the UK, some of the stuff here is just everyone wants to do stuff on the cheap, which is a bit annoying.
Everyone's just chasing the profit margin, I feel like.
And
as
that's
well.
the
And
thing.
it's not about that sort of thing, is it?
No.
All the time.
Well, I always feel like we get repeat customers because people like the clothing, whether they like me or not. Like most of the time, they don't like me. They'll like Iron Maiden, or they'll like the Trooper brand itself. Like, so like I'm lucky that I can reach different kind of markets with it. And also being black and gold is kind of like something you can wear out pretty much anywhere as well.
Yeah.
Whereas my stuff's a bit more flamboyant and got a lot of colour into it. But again, different people want different stuff.
Yeah.
But we definitely get a lot of repeat business because it's nice quality stuff and it lasts.
Yeah.
But people still keep buying it. Even though I know
good.
it lasts and they know it lasts, they're like, but I want another t-shirt.
But another one.
And my t-shirts are still not mega expensive, they're 30 quid.
That's cheap.
They're not
that's a good price.
horrendous. You know, polo shirts about 40 quid for a polo shirt. Hoodies are 50 to 60 odd quid. Full rain jackets like 80 quid.
That's a good price.
So it's not as a custom item.
Yeah.
They're not overboard. They're not dead cheap, but they're not overboard.
Yeah.
And you know, I have to order a 40-foot containers with it every year, which absolutely breaks my balls every time. And every single year, even though I've been doing it since 2017 now, I think I've been doing my own merchandise. And even now, whenever I have to pay that first bill, I'm like, fuck, am I doing the right thing? Because I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing, because that's a big amount.
That's a big bill coming
Do I have to unload this container?
Yeah, generally I unfortunately have to as well, So I'll try and get stuck in as much as I can. I've got some really good staff that work for me as well, but unloading a 40-foot container is hard work.
Well, anyway, right, start doing fucking questions, wrap this shit
You'll have to line this up again.
You fucking more.
You'll have to go on for
fucking hours.
Talking about the Dead Ass Podcast, so I messaged him and said, Peter Hickman was recording with us this evening. And he put, would just love to know the mindset you would have to be in to do something that crazy, constantly on adrenaline or relaxed, the focus, etc. How do you get to that state and how do you manage the fear? We kind of touched on something.
A little bit. Good question. I mean, so this is again from the outside against what I feel is two different things. Like a lot of people think I'm crazy, and I don't think I'm crazy. However, that's also what makes crazy people crazy, right? They don't know that they're crazy.
Yeah,
this is true.
That's,
so
pretty much.
But it's a calculated risk. Like I said, you don't take your brain out and put your helmet on. It's not like that. And that's what from the outside. That's what people think.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're just a fucking idiot. I'm like, no.
Because it looks so mental from the outside looking in, but actually,
Yeah.
if you could, I don't know, somehow, maybe in the future we can with the old Elon and his thing, like you could do a lap in your eyes and you'd be like, oh, okay, it's not actually.
It's actually, so like TT in particular, you believe it or not, yes, you're hyper-focused, don't get me wrong, like it's mentally draining as much, if not more so than physically draining, because you have to be so on the mark with it. However, I am super relaxed. So I don't know if you've ever watched my onboard lap or anything.
Yeah.
Have a look on YouTube, just type my name in and type Ironman TT. But there's also some videos on there of like pit stops. So I've got an onboard camera like on the dash facing back up at me, and you'll see I'm absolutely flat out, and I'm come back in, stop, and the pit stop is obviously part of the race. So if I'm slow, it's shit. Just like Formula One, pit stops mean a lot of stuff. So I'm stopping as late as I can get it. Stop into the pit box, into the slot that we have to go, and then I'm like, I let go. Fuel's going in while I'm still sat on the bike. Rear wheel's going into it, and I'm chatting to the mechanics, and you'll hear how calm I am.
Yeah.
Like, and then literally, as it finishes, I'm like, right, okay, yeah, boom. And like within 3 seconds, I'm doing 180 mile an hour again down the street.
And you're just relaxed.
And it's like bang, 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 done. Like the pit stop's like 50 seconds long. It's not even that long. And like, but if you go and watch it, and you'll just see how calm I am. It's not what you expect. You'd expect to come and go, fucking hell, this happened. I had that slide. Oh, you need to get fuel in faster. Come on, I need to go. Like, it's not like that.
See,
it's really calm.
Like, I know when I've been driving or I've gone into a corner a bit too fast and my heart's and I'm going and you get the squeaky bum moment. Like, you must have that a lot.
No.
Well, mate,
How?
I remember he took me and one of our friends round the mountain course in a BMW. It's fucking stupid, and he's just sitting there fucking ragging it. Because in the Isle of Man, you can go as fast as you want around the mountain course. He's fucking smashing it. I'm sitting there holding onto the handle, shit myself. And he's like, yeah, my mate flew off the mountain. Here was his fucking mate. This cunt overtook a superbike in a car.
Oh,
and he's like, yeah, but then you do the left ear and then you drop down the gear. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm trying to hold on to a handle and not fall out of the car. This cunt, he's fucking mad as fuck. But it's what you need to do, and it's just.
And what's relevant to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like one person's safe is another person's really scary.
Yeah.
Like it's subjective depending on how you've been brought up, how you think, what you've done already, what experiences you have already. Like everything is different for everyone. Like people think 100%. I'm crazy doing 200 mile an hour, and I think 200 mile an hour was just dead easy. Like I can do that all day long if that's what you want me to do. Like it doesn't bother me at all. Some people would get scared at 50. It just depends on the person.
Me and Pete had a discussion about it because I said to him, I said, like, you're mad as fuck. How the fuck can you go and do the TT? Like when you watch his onboard lap, mate, it's fucking insane. It's actually quite scary, and you'll be honest with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but Matt, how do you go warm?
It's
a
good point.
Whereas I'm sitting there shitting myself going around a fucking corner.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but Matt, I can get shot at.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you're right.
Same. Yeah.
It's same. The most of the questions I've got anyway, you've answered.
I think we've covered one.
From start to finish. It's like English Tom did say, "Can he have some of your gin?" He messaged me and I was just like, "I'm not sure I can ask that." He's like, "Why not?" I said, "I don't know what I can ask."
But the thing is, to be fair, he rang me up and he's like, English Tom's asked about his rum. I said, Pete does make rum.
And that's what I was like, are you sure? I didn't know whether he was on about.
Tom always likes it. He's had a few bottles over the.
He wants. Well, I think we're going to catch up with him as well in November.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Great Tom.
Alright, well, there's not. I don't want to ask anymore because you've literally answered everything.
Yeah, I think pretty much.
There's a few I've got, and it's just you've.
Well, look,
answered
if
them,
you
so
hopefully this pod goes pretty well for you guys.
I hope so.
And you get some good feedback off it, and if you get loads of questions off the back of it, then maybe in kind of 4 or 6 months we'll do another one as a bit of a catch up, and people can add whatever they want into it.
No, I appreciate that.
We'll go from there.
Well, today
Awesome.
again, thank you.
Thanks so yeah.
You're
I know
welcome.
we
Absolutely
stopped
awesome.
You were drinking time. And
No, don't worry, that's fine. We've got a whole
Shoehorn it into
yeah, that's the whole bottle. I wish I was staying now. I'm booking a hotel next weekend, not this weekend.
No worries, boys.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Lovely.
No
Thanks
problem.
ever so much.
Cheers, guys.